Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic wherever you're at. Being 73 years old, or thereabouts, I've had the privilege of living in various parts of the United States and traveling to various parts of the United States. I lived the great majority of my life, 50 plus years, in California, in Southern California and Northern California. I've also had the privilege of living about 20 years in, Texas, Austin, Lockhart, Wichita Falls, and currently I live in Fort Worth, Texas. But I also lived in, Arizona, and for quite a while I lived in Arizona. And of course in California I also lived in Salinas, Watsonville, Riverside, the list goes on and on, Redlands, and of course San Jose and San Francisco. So I have a lot of experience living in different parts of the United States and enjoying life in these various communities. So I wanted to talk about RVing and camping and enjoying nature in these communities, and the differentiation between California and Texas. Okay, I'm going to use the 50-mile rule. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible because I know I can talk ad nauseum. I have a very good yapper. I tend to talk a bit long. I apologize. So, living in Texas, 50 miles away from my house, and living in California, 50 miles from my house in San Jose. What things are available? Okay, 50 miles, maybe 60 miles. Let's just call it 60 miles. So, 50 miles from Fort Worth, Texas. Let me see. I can go to Dallas. I can go to Arlington. I can go to Denton. I can't make it to Waco. Waco's a little bit far away. So pretty much everywhere I go around here is going to be lakes, reservoirs. There's really no lakes. There's only one lake in the whole state. They call them reservoirs lakes, but they're primarily reservoirs. So I can go to various reservoirs and various campgrounds and enjoy myself if I want to do some fishing. And I enjoy fishing. One of my friends, Dan Bacher, who's the managing editor of the Fish Sniffer magazine back in the day in Sacramento in Northern California, he calls Texas the sportsman's paradise. The sportsman's paradise. He always asks me, what are you up to? This was in Fort Worth. Are you doing any exciting fishing or hunting and stuff like that? And I said, nah, I do a little fishing. I live across from a lake, and a little pond rather, and I do some fishing once in a while. And when I go camping, I go to Lake Meridian, Lake Whitney, different locations, and I do a little bit of fishing. If I go to Port O'Connor, Port Aransas, I do some fishing, and of course, camping. So there is a lot of fishing, and there's a lot of camping opportunities in the great state of Texas. Let me just tell you some of the things I do like. Is the fact that you can go to the ocean and do some serious saltwater fishing from jetties. And if you have a boat, you can do some very nice fishing, but I typically fish off a wharf, a pier, or a jetty, or on the beach, and I catch some fun fish down there. I catch some good-sized fish, redfish, what they call the ocean trout, etc., etc. And, have a lot of fun. Sheepshead are very, very nice. Sheepshead are a lot of fun to catch. So I enjoy going fishing and camping in those areas, and especially during the spring and the fall. It's a lot of fun. In the summer, it gets a little bit warm. Of course, if you have full hookups, you just keep that air conditioner going all night and all day, and you can moderate those 110-degree humid temperatures down to a manageable, low 80s, high 70s, and call it good. Okay. So that's a lot of fun, especially if you have a pool. I remember I was at Port O'Connor RV Park, and I had a very nice pool, and it was about a mile from the beach. Had a great time there, and it was very, very, very affordable, especially in the summer. Nobody's there in the summer. Just all the winter Texans that have their actual permanent RVs parked there, anchored there, are all gone back to Minnesota, Canada, you know, those Michigan, stuff like that. They're all back home. And there's very few people camping there, and I had pretty much the park by myself and the swimming pool by myself. My wife and I had a great time at Port O'Connor RV Park. And of course, we've gone to Port Aransas, enjoy those beaches, investigating those different communities, checking out the wildlife. We're talking about birds. And it's a great place to go. I also went to Big Bend. Big Bend is absolutely gorgeous, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the few places in Texas where you have mountains, and it's beautiful, absolutely glorious. So the places I like in Texas, I got here in 1999. It's now 2025. About 25 of those, 20 of those years, I've been in Texas, okay? About 5 of those years, I went back to Southern California. My wife did some work down there for 5 years. So, but we're now in Texas, and we're enjoying it. I enjoy going camping. I enjoy going fishing and stuff like that. But it's very different 50 miles away from my house. Those places that I want to go fishing to, Port Aransas, Port O'Connor, go hiking and enjoy some mountains. Big Bend are good 5 to 8 hours away. That's a long ways to go fishing, to go hiking and stuff like that. If I wanted to go around here, I just go to Meridian or Claiborne Park and call it good. That's about an hour and a half away. And, Lake Granbury. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Again, it's just river fishing, lake fishing. Pretty simple, flat. Almost 99% of the land around us is ranch land. There are cows. A lot of cows. A lot of flat land. It's not agriculture around here. They don't grow things. The dirt around here is pretty much just good for growing grass and feeding cows. That's about it. Compare that to where I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I grew up in San Jose, California. If you went 50 miles that way, actually only 45 miles, you'd be in San Francisco. San Jose to San Francisco. And of course, you have pier fishing. You have beautiful infrastructure in downtown and the affluent areas. Of course, a lot of people have been complaining about, hey, it's horrible in San Francisco. Everything's horrible in San Francisco. If you went to the worst part of Fort Worth, just down the block here, about 7 miles, that little area over there where the homeless hang out. 5th highest homicide rate, crime rate in the United States of America. Back a few years back, they did a report and they said it's a lot of crime there. Same goes in San Francisco in certain parts. You go to the worst parts of San Francisco, worst parts of San Jose, you go to the worst parts of LA, you go to worst parts of Denver, you go to worst parts of anywhere in the United States. It's going to be bad. Okay. But when my wife and I go to San Francisco and visit family and friends, we go to the nice areas. We go to Pacific Heights. We go to the marina. We go to those areas and have a good time sitting at, at the park and just having a view of the ocean, Alcatraz, the Golden Gate, etc., etc. We go to Marina Green, hike around there, go for a hike and watch all the people on their surfboards. And what do you call those surfboards with the little sails? Whatever they call those. See them going across the ocean back and forth, for people in their yachts. The list goes on. That's only 45 miles away from San Jose. 45 miles away from here, you can see people doing some fishing at the lake. But if it's summertime, they're not on the lake. It's too hot. Muy calientes. Even muy calientes, they say in Spanish. But in San Francisco, summer weather is rather cool. So San Francisco is rather cool. Bay Area weather is not as hot. At least 20 degrees lower typically in San Jose, and 35 degrees cooler typically in San Francisco. Definitely in Santa Cruz, Monterrey, Carmel, SoCal, And all my family, all my friends, pretty much 99% of them, live in the Bay Area. My sisters, brothers, my parents are buried in San Jose, etc., etc. My oldest brother is buried in San Jose. I have a lot of family, a lot of roots in San Jose. I went to San Jose High, I went to San Jose State. I have roots down there. So if you want to go 50 miles, you can go to UC Berkeley, hang out there, go to campus. Again, you can go straight to the ocean from the valley, go over the mountains, and there you are at the ocean. The ocean from Santa Cruz, way down here, Carmel, Monterey, Santa Cruz, Davenport, all these different communities along the coast. And then you get to Half Moon Bay, then you get to Pacifica, then you get to San Francisco, and across the bridge, San Rafael, the list goes on and on and on and on. A lot of beaches nearby. So if I wanted to go to Santa Cruz, that's only like 30 miles away. Hang out with the surfers, have some good calamari, etc., etc. Very nice. So you have this diversity. In what do you call it? Here in Fort Worth, it's all about barbecue. They have some diverse foods here and there. Tex-Mex chow. But over there in the San Francisco Bay Area, they have a lot of Italian chow. A lot of good Chinese restaurants. In Chinatown in San Francisco, they have some great Chinese food. The list goes on and on and on. You get spoiled. So what I get from a lot of Texans, and I watch from a lot of news, people complain about California. Bunch of weirdos down there. It's a horrible place to live. They're all coming back over here. Well, they're not. California actually has a growing population. They're not all of a sudden dropping in population and everybody's going to Texas. No, they're not doing that. Some people move to Texas. Wherever there's a job, they go. It's like my parents are from Texas, but they left to go to California because of jobs. They got jobs in California. That's why I'm a Californian and my parents are Texans. That's why I have cousins in South Texas, in Houston, Crystal City, Uvalde. All these family members, San Antonio, I have family down there, and I have friends down there. But the great majority of my family and friends are in Silicon Valley, San Jose, California. So here's another bit of information for all you folks who hate California, absolutely hate California. I hate those Californians, those liberal Californians. They always say that the economy in California is going in the gutter. Well, here's some facts. I apologize if I'm giving you facts and you don't want to hear facts. About 5 years ago, as an economy, California separated from the United States of America. As the economy of San Jose, Silicon Valley, California, whole of California, was sixth. Was sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. If it was a country, it'd be number 6. But guess where it is in 2025? How was it in 2025? It's number 4. It's gone up 2 notches. From 6 to 5 to 4. It's number 4. If California were a separate country, it'd be the 4th most economically viable and dynamic country in the known universe. Okay? Texans always say, we're number 1. Everybody's coming to Texas. I go, you're full of it. You're all full of it. The only reason people come to Texas is because it's more affordable, it's cheaper, and it is more expensive. But my family, my 2 daughters, own homes in the greater San Jose Bay Area. They own homes. My youngest daughter just bought another house. She got rid of an old house. Now she lives in a bigger house. A house más grande. She's doing very well. She's HR. She works in HR. She heads HR. She headed HR at a hospital. Now she heads HR at a high-tech startup and is making good money. Making good money. She has the wherewithal how to get people on board and processing them and saying, hey, these are the rules that are company and you have to follow them. Sign this contract. So she's head of HR for a new high-tech company as of a year and a half ago. My other daughter is a housewife. Both of my son-in-laws work for the Sheriff's Department of Santa Clara County. One's a sheriff. The other one has gravitated from being a sheriff, and now he's a probation officer. So they're making good money. They pay good wages. They pay good wages in Silicon Valley. Yes, they got money. They got a hell of a lot of money. They got more money than me. My wife recently, about I think it was 6 years ago, said, Jesus, why don't we send some money to our daughters so we can help them out? And I go, you know they make more money than us. You know they have multi-million-dollar homes, and we don't. We live in Fort Worth in a $500,000 house. We're happy to have $500,000, okay? So they live a more lavish and very nice life in the San Francisco Bay Area. They prefer not visiting me. They want me to visit them because they come to us. We don't like going to Texas. So that's how Californians think about Texas. They go, no me gusta Texas. I don't like Texas. No me gusta. So I visit them. I hang out with them and go to parties there, graduations, etc., etc. So this has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza talking about what's 50 miles away from my house in Fort Worth. Not much. Ranch land, a couple lakes, a couple state parks. It's all flat. Not much going on. I can go to Dallas and watch football, for what that's worth, and watch baseball. Are there any mountains nearby? No. Are there any oceans nearby? No, I have to go 6 hours that way, or 6 hours that way, and then I get to the ocean. No. Things are far in Texas. If I was back in San Jose, which I hope to be back in the Bay Area in about a year and a half, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years from now. Once I get a house, I can go 2-3 hours to the beach. If I move a little bit further away from my family, I can't move next to my children because it's expensive where my children live. I can't afford to live next to my children. They are doing very, very well. I can't move next to my sisters and brothers who have ranches and live in $2, $3, $4, $5 million homes. I can't live next to them. But I can move to Chico. I can move to Redding. Maybe, with a little luck, maybe to Arcata or Sacramento. We'll see. From there, the beach is a little further away. It's about 3 hours away, 2.5, 3 hours away. Mountains are right there. If you want to go camping in the mountains, if it's a hot day in Chico, let's say it's 95 degrees, and I wanted to cool off, all I have to do is drive an hour up the mountains, Crater Lake and all these other lakes, and all these beautiful lakes, Caples Lake, Silver Lake, Lake Tahoe, and I can cool off there. Because once you get in elevation, and it's very quick because you're already there, pretty close. You're already a little bit of elevation. Just go a little bit, another half hour away, and you're in even higher elevation, and you can cool off super fast. If I wanted to cool off here, I have to turn on the air conditioning. That's the only way. Or go to the mall and walk around the mall. Hey, it's cool here. I'm not, So that's why my wife and I are planning, should I live so long, that's the caveat, should I live so long, we're going to be moving back to the Bay Area in the summer of 26 or the summer of 27. We haven't decided yet. Probably summer of 27, because my wife just told me, she says, hey, the school covers this much health insurance once I graduate for the both of us, but if I stay one more year, it'll cover 100%. I said, wow, that's a lot of money. Let's just stick around one more year. And as a reward for sticking around one more year, let's go on vacation during winter, spring, and summer and do a lot of traveling. Just travel. Just let's go places. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Jesus Manuel Menagarza. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. This is a rather modest channel. My goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers. Wow! Dare, again, to dream. Dare to dream! And please leave your kind and friendly comments below, and all you texts can say, hey, we're glad to get rid of you, old boy. Get rid of your little brown butt. Get it back to California, yeah. We don't like you here and your liberal thinking. By the way, that would not be the first time I heard that. And if you have a chance, check out my website specific to this page. It's rvta.myportfolio.com. It's one of these corners here, and you can scan it with your phone, and you'll go there. and you'll be able to check out my photographs. My photographs of my European vacation, which is coming up very soon, etc., etc. I'll have some photographs taken with my smartphone, my Google Pixel 9a. Wow, smartphone pics. You're welcome. I greatly appreciate you checking out my video. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave your kind and friendly comments below, and ring the bell for future notifications. And in the description, I'll have other links to other things like my memberships, my Patreon page, my other stuff, other videos that you may find interesting. I'm in my backyard getting bitten by a bunch of mosquitoes here in Texas. I didn't enjoy mosquitoes until I got to Texas. In California, I didn't get bitten that much, but once I moved to Texas, it's been fantastic. I get bitten all the time, and also by fire ants. Thank you very much, Texas. I greatly appreciate it. That's a bit cynical. I apologize. This has been Jesus Manuel Menegarza from Fort Worth, Texas, in my backyard. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.